All right, guys. So this is spiritual warfare part 6 or 7. I'm not too sure. I lost count. So most of them are on Facebook. I'm gonna have to upload those later on here on YouTube. We're transitioning now to YouTube, guys. And yes, I'm at a Motel 6. Fortunately, unfortunately, I was actually down by the river over here doing a lot of work for a lot of clients, doing a lot of work for myself. I've been doing a lot of major workings, a lot of ceremonies, a lot of rituals and stuff. Although my inbox is full and I haven't got to a lot of readings yet, I will get to a lot of those soon. I haven't had internet for a lot of places that I'm at, so I'm going to be having internet and some more data soon. So I just took the chance right now just because, I felt like it to talk about some spiritual warfare stuff. So I've got my mask here. Show them your mask. That's my big bro, my elder, always tells me. And show them your mask. So we're going to talk about spiritual warfare, spiritual currency, all that stuff. We're going to talk about a lot of different stuff, a lot of different things about magic as well. Hopefully I don't run out of data or space on my phone. So, because I've been trying to make this video quite a few times. So yeah, if you really support me, follow me on YouTube, and you follow my journey and a lot of the things that I do, and hit me up for readings and stuff. I'll get to them, and also major workings and ceremonies and things like that. So. So, gonna let the music play a little bit. Look into my eyes, my reptilian eyes, like Bob says. It's another lady on YouTube that says that. She's pretty dope. Y'all should check her out. I forgot her name. All right. So hopefully I've been having a good month. I've been having a great month. Lots of major things happening. Lots of changes and lots of shifts have occurred for me. Lots of metamorphoses and changes and things like that. So it's been an amazing journey. I met a lot of different people along the way physically since I've been on Facebook. So I'm trying to transition here. So we're about to talk about kick some real knowledge. Okay, so show them your mask. All right, so oftentimes people use certain things to what? Mask emotions, right? Let's talk about it from the human perspective before we go into the spiritual, deep science of the mask. All right, so think about it. People mask their emotions with what? Drugs. This is marijuana. Y'all know how I feel about it, but this is also a mask, and I'm aware of that. See? Because what? I'm masking my aura with smoke. Now, see, Native Americans smoked, you gotta be careful, I don't want to drop my mask, smoked tobacco to mask themselves from things like Iwas, which is a spirit of madness, and different things like that. That's why they smoke tobacco. It's a form of spiritual protection. A lot of people don't know this. So let's go a little bit deeper. So along my journey, when I woke up, I was sleeping in the back of a car, and it was somebody else's car. It was my friend's neighbor's car. She let me sleep in it. I'm open up to a lot of stuff about this. And I was coming down off of a psychedelic trip. This was like a major journey. It opened up my fourth eye, everything, just past life experience and so much. So I'm sitting in the back of the car, all these downloads and major things. So I get out, smoke a cigarette. I'm sitting there and I'm just observing, and I'm listening to, what I learned is called my Iwa, my spirit, or my Iwa, and also your ancestors. So my Iwa, my spirit. So I'm listening to my spirit. I didn't know what it was at the time. So I'm seeing, and I'm in the darkest place where I lived in Sacramento at the time. I was homeless. It was called the deepest part of hell. Del Paso Heights is what they call it. And that's the realm. This is realmology. Understand, when you go through neighborhoods, hoods, and shit like that, they call these places these names because that's the spiritual name of it when they go there. Because people that died on that on the concrete, on the land, on the block. That's why I'm playing the music. That's why I honor, certain things. So, because we have to keep this real. We have to keep this honest. So I'm in the deepest part of hell, and I'm sitting there smoking a cigarette, fucking woofed out. Nobody ever bothers me. I used to call myself the neighborhood shaman. I still call myself this to this day, because I would go to the hood and just try to because I had a friend that lived there stuff too, and I was also kind of living there, but I couldn't get in the house. So this is how I met my brother and Lil or Israel. So I'm sitting there and I'm smoking, and I'm just listening to my Iwa. My Iwa showing me all the drug traffic, right? All of a sudden, this lady walks up, and she's going to the lady's house next to her. This dope house, and I see her face, and I see outline around her face, and I was like, my Iwa was like, my spirit inside said, that's a mask. That's her mask. And when people do drugs and stuff like that, you start to see their eyes get darker and shit like that. And that's the mask. They start to mask the emotions more and more and more and more. And so you start to get a mask. Some of us naturally have a mask. I'm part reptilian, so you can probably see mine. And it looks kind of like that, or like a weird, like, little Joker. But this is my mask. And I'm going to show you all the story behind this mask. It's a very sacred thing. A very sacred thing. The mask. So, think about it. Many African cultures, many cultures since the beginning of the earth, what did they use in ritual practice? The mask. So I see her mask. Then I notice I can see everybody's mask. Then I realized that everybody's doing the same thing they was doing in previous lifetimes, because obviously I was doing other things, but I was living that within my body, within my regressed mind, because I was regressing. So she's like, hey, auntie, woo woo woo. I'm like, hey, maybe she's over here doing this because, you know what I'm saying, that's really her auntie. That was really like her auntie or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And when they smoke they dope or something like that, they tapping into that realm. I've talked about this before. They tap into that realm. They tap into that part of their mind, that consciousness. You know what I'm saying? That's why the weed is called gas. Think about it. It's called loud. The devil's lettuce. Because what did it do to your consciousness to get you, what, high? It's called a gateway drug. Why? Because it opens up the gates of the mind. That's conscious drugs. That's using drugs consciously, such as marijuana. You're honoring the earth. You're honoring the devas, as they call it in Vedic texts. So I see her mask. She's going over there, and my mind just so exploded that I can hear her thoughts. I began to grow telepathic, and I heard her thoughts. And I knew she was over there to get dope. And everybody's over there getting their drug, tapping into whatever consciousness that it was, but they just masking it. Masking it until your soul is gone. Certain drugs do certain things to certain consciousnesses. Certain manufactured drugs do the same thing. I learned this while in jail, in county jail, one time. Unfortunately, but we're keeping it real. I sat there and watched the spirits move inside the jail, and I know that spirits talk through people. This is realmology. Spirits will talk through people. The realm itself will talk to you. It'll communicate to you. Half the time you're not even talking to a person. You're talking to an entity. And I was locked up taking people on spiritual tours. Feel me? So this one dude, he would do this crazy shit in his sleep, and he would draw these crazy pictures of these weird demonic faces and shit. Right? And I kept hearing these stories about crystal meth. A lot of them were on crystal meth. Me, I've never done that. I've only smoked weed, and it was just a fucked up situation. So, this was long ago. So, but it was pretty much, the thing was called meth demons. So they said that the crystal meth, right? And I also found this out, that crystal meth was created by witches, right? At least in where I'm at, their sons created. They live in like different rural areas, and they create crystal meth. That's part of the thing that they do, and a lot of the people that sell it practice. So what it is the crystal. What do crystals do? They either project or absorb, right? So you're smoking something, and it's absorbing your energy, and then you're blowing it out, and then you're pretty much dissipating your soul matrix. This is true. A lot of people don't know this, but I've seen it. I've heard people tell me this shit. So they say when they let out a big ass cloud of smoke, it looks like a demon looks back at them. Like, and it smiles. And that's why he was drawing clowns and shit. It was twisted. And that's the whole old thing about the clown. Okay? In Mayan cultures and a lot of other cultures, okay, the clown represented a good thing and also a bad thing. Also represented self-sacrifice and the sacred death. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the mask, sacred death, suicide. So now y'all notice that they have the whole baby shark thing and all these things telling little kids 2 years old and shit to commit suicide, to kill themselves. This is because they're ushering after 2012, they're ushering in the era of ITOP or XTOP, XI. When you see that X, that's representation of gene X. Now, I haven't talked about this live before, or maybe I have, or I've talked about it in the post, but not very many people seemed interested at the time. I think it's important. Gene X is a DNA sequence that I created in your DNA as Lord E, whatever. That's the 10-strand DNA, pretty much. So what they're doing is they're bringing back the Mayan worship of the suicide god, and it's called the sacred death, because it's in Mayan culture. All right, they will paint their faces and kill themselves, because if you suffer so much pain that you be transported straight to the underworld, straight to heaven, their heaven or whatever. I'm gonna go into a deeper version of this when I do a decoding of Denzel Curry's suicidal thoughts, and he has the mask on and shit like that. That's what he's talking about. You want me to kill myself? I've been doing so long. He's worshiping her because she wears the death mask and stuff like that. She's also where the origin of Santa de Muerte comes from too, the siphon, the earth, and stuff like that. And that goes into XI and the old mechs and stuff like that I don't have too much time for because I don't think I have space. So yeah, I'm noticing all these people with the mask and different stuff like that, and you can see it, especially at nighttime. If you just watch, you'll see people's masks. So another thing spiritual warfare is show them your mask. Sometimes you might have to show them your mask. So what essentially chakra-wise is the mask? The mask is your ego. So a lot of people try to be on some love and light shit, and that's cool. That's new agey, that's hip, right? But that's not real spirituality. at least for me, my experiences, it was love and light. But once I got deeper and once I started practicing and new knowledge, it became different. It was a dangerous game. It still is a dangerous game. And you better play this game right. Not saying I'm playing it right. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. Who knows? But you got to play it right. Think about it. I told y'all, the fourth dimension is right here. All right, that's the checkerboard floor in masonry. That's the pillars, the arcs. You know what I'm saying? Or the archons. You know what I'm saying? Archons. You know what I'm saying? Om mean light in the celestial realm. Oh, sorry. So, got a lot of energy. So, show them your mask. That means show them your ego, because the ego is a part of you as well. It also helps you mask certain things, but you have to know how to work your ego. You can't have like an overfatuated ego. You have to have a well-balanced ego. So that's also a part of your mask, because you got to think, what is the ego? It's a shield as well as a mask and many other things like that. So a lot of people, you can see their masks. So what else we're going to talk about is spiritual currency. So spiritual currency. So let's talk about physical currency first. Be careful of the pacts you make in the webs you weave. All right. When I say to be careful of the pacts we make in the webs we weave, that's actually an old occult quote. Actually, the Illuminati and I think it's like the Bohemian Grove or whatever use that when they have the owl and the money in the in the web. When they have the owl in the web, that's symbolic because they control the money. The Federal Reserve, Bilderberger, all that stuff has to do with your money. Your what? Currency, right? So what is currency? Currency is what is wavelength. You feel me? Everything is frequency. Everything is energy. So all energy has to what? Be contained. And when that energy is contained and is projected through some type of source, right? It begins to get fragmented